Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, coming at you with another First 5 video. This is the video where I go through the first 5 comics out of my pull list that I read this week, and I talk to you guys a little bit about them. They're not necessarily the best 5 comics out of my pull list, but the first 5 that really drew me in, that I gravitated to. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. As always, guys, please excuse my pronunciation on some of these names. As you all know, at this point, I'm not very good at it. So first off this week, we had The Terrifics by Jeff Lemire and Ivan Reyes, with inks by Joe Pardo, and colors by Marcelo Melo. Man, guys, I was really excited for this book. I love Plastic Man, I love Metamorpho, I'm really into Mr. Terrific, and I love Jeff Lemire's work, so I was really excited for this, and it did not disappoint me at all. There's not a whole lot for me to talk about here, just because, in truth, a good portion of this book we did see in the previews that DC's been putting out at the end of a bunch of their other books, but we got Plastic Man back, and I'm so happy to have Plastic Man back, and being all goofy and awesome. Anyway, guys, I really enjoyed this book all the way around. The writing, the artwork, it was all a very good initial issue that got me interested to see what happens next. All in all, for this one, I give it 4 out of 5 GGs. Next up is KISSArmy of Darkness, written by Chad Barrows with Chris Sims, with art by Rory Coleman. And this book, particularly in the art, I was very happy with it. It was the previous Ash Army of Darkness book. I really enjoyed it. The artwork was perfectly serviceable, but it was a little bit more caricature-ish than what they have in this book, so I'm definitely enjoying that aspect of it more. And this is the same writing team that brought us the last book, which I really highly enjoyed. I actually recommend you go pick it up if you haven't checked it out. My only issue with this particular issue, the first issue, is there was a whole lot of explanation, especially in the Kiss department, that was pretty heavy, and even though there were some pretty good jokes in there, it really felt like that made this first issue lag. Beyond that, though, it seems like a really great setup for a really fun story, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. My only other issue with the whole book is, and this is in the artwork, Gene Simmons is a little thick for the time period that they're depicting. He's drawn more with the body type he has now, as opposed to the way he looked back in the 70s, but still, overall, I enjoyed the book, but this one didn't really do it for me. But at the same time, I definitely, with where the book ends, am interested to see where it goes. So unfortunately for this first issue, it's going to get 2 out of 5 GGs, and I do recommend it mostly because I think this book's really going to pick up as it keeps going. After that, we've got Raven, Daughter of Darkness number 2, written by Marv Wolfman, with art by Pop Man. And man, dude, these guys are killing it on this book. This book had really good character moments, it had really good action, the art was just killing it, like, Raven looks beautiful, and, like, the slight differences in, like, the way she stands and in her body language between when she's Raven and whenever she's Rachel, which is kind of like the persona she's developed to try to fit in and go to school with people, is really, really nice. This is definitely turning out to be another character-driven book, and, that's why I read these. I really love the character of Raven, and this book is kind of giving me everything that I want. We have some cool new kind of villainous characters. I can't wait to see where it goes. This book gets 4 out of 5 GGs, and I highly recommend it. Go pick up the first issue. Go pick up this issue. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Go read this book. Next up is Mera, Queen of Atlantis by Dan Abnett, with art by Lan Medina. This book was pretty awesome. I'm a fan of Mera, and I'm a little behind on the Aquaman book, but in general I've kind of been following along with what's been going on. She been having a stint on the Justice League, which has been really awesome. They've had the whole like Civil War in Atlantis thing going on, and all that I've kind of been enjoying, and this book was really interesting and good. Like, it gives us a good starting off point for this character and for the story. But at the same time, I feel like if I didn't know all the things that I already know about what's been going on in Rebirth, this probably wouldn't work for me. Like, they do explain a lot of that stuff, but not in a way that really gets you as invested as I think you need to be in this particular story. But again, this is just the first issue of the 6-issue miniseries, And while I say all that, it definitely wasn't bad. I was entertained, it had beautiful artwork, the writing was absolutely solid. It just seems like you have to have a lot of back knowledge going into it for this to really pay off big for you. So because of that, this one's going to get 3 out of 5 GGs, but I do still highly recommend it. And finally, we have Doom Patrol Justice League America Milk Wars Part 5, with contributions by Steve Orlando, Gerard Way, Dale Engelman, Nick Darrington, Tamara Bonvillain, Marissa Luis, and so many more. This is the final issue in the Milk Wars story, and I'll be honest with you guys, I missed a couple of issues. So, going into this book, I really enjoyed it. Again, the art style is absolutely perfect for this book, and the art style in this particular issue is insanely varied. My only regret is that I did miss a couple of issues, so I know there are some things that I'm missing, but all in all, the way that this story wrapped up and the way that it worked out really worked for me, and I really enjoyed it. If you have not been picking this up in the issues, then you're definitely going to want to go out and pre-order the trade for it. Go check your local comic shop, see if they have the back issues. Here locally, they haven't had them in my area, so I've missed out on the last couple. But man, this series has been really solid, and I've really enjoyed it. So it's going to be getting 4 out of 5 GGs and a very high recommendation. Right on, guys. That was my first 5 this week. What do you guys think? Did you pick up any of these titles, or are you going to go pick them up now after hearing my thoughts on them? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, then please make sure to leave a like and share it with some friends. That's more important now than ever with everything that YouTube is changing up on us. If you're not subscribed, then please subscribe and hit that little bell so you can get notifications on all the dope content I'll have coming out in the future. Thank you guys for your time. I hope y'all have a good one. Nerd Scum, out.
Just let it go, let it go.